right, I guess I should have been shooting a Bent69 video. We've been in here working. Bartley has been involved. It's always good to have the owner involved in the project. Feeling that
literally have skin in the game. There's a little bit of missing skin there.
Yeah. Yes. But, well, you know, it's your money. So, we kind of went over the project. We've got a good feel for the direction we're going. We're definitely going to rebuild the heads. They're nice enough. It's worth it. I just don't feel confident in getting these cleaned up here. So, we'll send those out. Yeah, this is going to be nice. We're going to make something nice. We're still going to fall around that 500, 520. But good sound, good drivability. And Pixie is going to look into swapping this to a houndstooth interior because it'll be a little nicer in a convertible in the summer. You know, that comfort weave insert, it's not that much more expensive since we're recovering anyway. So going from, this would be your standard pattern in 69, well, in any first-gen Camaro. It'd just be your standard pressed vinyl. So one of the optional, which in this case would be the black and white houndstooth with the comfort weave, that is a lot nicer in the sun. So that'll work out pretty slick. You can see we've added a few more parts. Wiper pumps out. I think we'll rebuild the, you know, you can buy these little kits for about 12, 16 bucks to rebuild the pump. Always worthwhile while it's out because he doesn't remember the last time he's even operated the pump. So probably a good idea to do the washer pump. The MSD is definitely going on this engine. So that limits us to somewhere in the 256 duration on a cam, which is higher than what we were looking for anyway. So this is going to work out pretty nice. We looked at it. We're going to order those metal bushings from Paul Caglione that he does. They're a little more expensive, but why keep changing them? And then I'm going to rebuild the housing. You know, basically pull it apart and clean everything. Verify that there's no wear. Because it doesn't look like any of the hard parts are actually worn. I think everything's just dirty. With that front seal being so bad, with the oil pan leaking so bad, there's just dirt in everything. So anything we can deal with all that grease and dirt that's accumulated, that'll help. Even though I'm not personally a fan of air gap intakes because of the giant squirrel cage underneath there where crap accumulates, there's nothing wrong with this intake. They work great. So we're going to clean this one up and reuse it. It just doesn't make sense to spend another $300 there. Definitely changing the pan. I just can't take that risk. And probably, unfortunately, not using these 1003s that I already had on the shelf, because I think we're going to go to an MLS gasket, probably a 53 mil, which I've used in the past successfully on small block Chevys. Oh, here. Bartley's finishing pulling out most of the engine harness. We will harvest a couple of these ends. I don't know if I've ever shown it in videos, but I have boxes and boxes of factory Packard and Delphi ends that I keep. 56 series, 58 series, and 59 series terminals are completely available. These shells, some of them are very expensive on the aftermarket. So if you can harvest a factory shell, you should. But, you know, in fact, I like Terminal Supply Company. You know, these things, very, very inexpensive. Well, okay, let me rephrase. Reasonably priced. That might be the better phrase. So you'll find the 56 series connectors are easy, cheap, cheerful. But I do tend to harvest back shells whenever I can. Especially weird one-off or one connector, two connector back shells. You use them freaking everywhere. So any chance I get, I harvest anything unusual. I haven't been harvesting any headlamp ones lately because I have plenty of them, and the ones you can get on the aftermarket are really, really good, and they fit really well. I mean, here's a used high beam, but yeah. So I do tend to harvest a few of those, and I'm sure you saw that. You know, I got some '67 Camaro relays in here. You never know when you're going to deal with the '67 electric headlights. So K1, K2, and K3 are what they're called. K3 tends to be the one that's burned out. So I do keep some, you know, combs. But yeah, so I've got a couple boxes. You know, these boxes are full of wires and back shells and things that are just handy to have. So we do try to save some of those. And yeah, so some of this is going to be safe for harvest, but none of this will be reused in this car. We're going to go to a complete new wire harness. Everything's going to change. Even the radio is going to change. We are going to, well, once again, harvest the retro sound out of the Pontiac. You know, we're going to have to change the bezel, but that's not a big deal. We're going to go ahead and order one of the correct bezels for the '69 Camaro. This already has Bluetooth, and if I have Bluetooth in a radio that wasn't going to be reused anyway, that means I'm allowed to get rid of that thing. This crazy cradle, that apparently was the interface to this classic auto sound. So that can go away. So that was worthwhile. So horse trade for beer. Can't go wrong with that, especially if you make beer, huh?
That's right. Especially if it's good beer.
Especially if it's good beer. So, all right. That's probably the end of this section of the Bent69 video. Hopefully there'll be another part. Just like the Pontiac, we're leaving the master full, but we want this out of the way so we have access. So while he is cracking those nuts off of those studs, I'm going to come under here, and you see that little clip right there? Right there? I'm going to get that off and get that pin out of there. It's never very fun. I don't know how I could hold this and show you, but you basically lift up on it and then it slides back. It sounds a lot easier than it actually is. It's never very fun. So let me do that. Not even a choice. That engine's going to be Chevy orange.
Design changes into orange.
It's going to be correct. Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have a few cans on the shelf.
You got ceramic cans?
But oh no, that's the only way to paint them. That high temp ceramic paint is great. Works great. But you can see Bartley's been working. There's a whole lot less in here now. It's going to make it a lot easier to get at things. We've been cutting anything that's not important. This isn't unplugged yet, and this is important. That's one of the cutouts. You know, that's your throttle linkage. We got the wire harness pulled. So we finally got this silly thing out of here. So look at that. I'm going to have to cover those holes. That's that thing there. That's not going back in. We're going to get a cam that's going to give us hopefully enough vacuum that between a vacuum reservoir, a couple check valves, I think we're going to be in a ballpark. I think we're going to get him something he can drive. So that's this may be the end of the Bent69 video for today. You know, considering we've been shooting 2 videos at once. We'll see. Well, we have to fluff the video out a little bit. So here's Bartley doing some more cleaning. The amazing part is, remember, all this was black when we started. Look how nice this is starting to look. And with brake cleaner on sale, we got to use it.
FVP. Use my champions.
But, yeah, there may be a little drinking going on. But, we're just cleaning stuff and taking stuff out. But, yeah, no, this is it's coming along.
Finding blue stuff that didn't know was blue before.
But the important part is, 1, you're vested in the project. But 2,
I'm in it.
As we're cleaning things out and going through things, we've discussed how the project's going to proceed. got a good feel. I think we are going to go with the Voodoo instead of the Howards. We know what we're going to do for the clutch. We've got a good feel for how all this is going to go together. Sometime this week, I'll make a few calls, send the heads off to be redone, because we could clean them here, but we're never going to clean these exhaust valves here. So let's just let professionals do what they do. It's just money. Well, yeah, I know I always say it's just money, because it is. It's just a tool. But the important part is, let's let somebody who has the right tools do this instead of dicking around. Lapping valves isn't the hard part, but cleaning this, very difficult at home. Let people who have access to the right chemicals and machines do that. These, unfortunately, are going to go back on the shelf. These 1003s aren't gonna wind up being what we use. Training's going to go back together. We're going to stick with black on the shifter knob. We're not going to go white. The other big thing, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, interior is going to go to houndstooth, which will be so much more comfortable in the summer. It's not that much more money at this point, because Pixie's going to be recovering them anyway. Got the dual diaphragm out, which means if I can shoot 14 inches, 14 I think will be enough with a can. 13, 14, we can get there. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I can definitely taste the brake cleaner. I might want to crack a door here shortly. But, yeah, this has all come out. The engine harness is out, sitting here. Never throw something away until you're done harvesting connector ends or anything else you need. But, yeah, we're hoping that Wednesday, it's going to be almost 50 degrees here, which is unheard of in December. So this is going to go out. That's why the pressure washer's out. We're going to clean it up, pull all the plugs off the galleys, clean out all the oil galleys, do everything we can to make this ready, because it's not going to be black. It's not going to be unpainted, which is what it is now. And this is going to be proper Chevy orange. So it's going to look nice. It's going to look proper with some nice aluminum heads, a nice aluminum intake. This is going to be a nice looking motor when we're done. So, it's good to see the Bent69 getting a little attention. By spring, this is going to be quite the fun toy to play with.